One of the goals of the channel is to keep the fans interactive and working with us. And one of the ways we do that is by responding to your comments to the videos we have. And we've had so much cool stuff happen over to the channel over the course of the last month. So Patrick came up with some of your comments that we are going to respond to right after this.
The hair metal guru from Warren to Crew. The hair metal guru. Never forget Charlie too.
Welcome to the Hair Metal Guru. My name is Anthony. They call me the Guru. And yes, Patrick has been digging through your comments for us to respond to. With that, Patrick, welcome back to the show.
One of my favorite things to do every month is we go through, we find comments that faithful, loyal viewers have left. And this is our way of saying, we do pay attention to what people say. And you can see that in some of the video choices we make and the things we do. And, just like when people hit us up at X, I always try and respond as quickly as I can. When people leave a comment asking if we're going to interview somebody or we're going to try, I always respond to that. Yeah. So with that being said, I picked some great comments that people have left over the last month for you.
First, let me just point out, this is my original Warrant shirt from the Rock Never Stops tour in 1998. And I just put out a video today. It's Tuesday, November 18th, in which I showed 96 many rare and original rock shirts that I have in my collection. You should go check that out. And I wanted to say this about the comments, and I've said this before. I started the channel thinking you are going to respond to every comment. And it's legitimately one of the things that bothers me the most about doing this channel is that I don't get to respond. We do so many videos. So trust me, I try to read through everything. If I don't respond, I do feel bad. So the closest we can get is to doing this. So Patrick, thanks for coming up with some of the things we're going to respond to, and let's get into it.
All right. One of the great success of the last month that we had was we started a program where we are reviewing albums and talking about the effect those albums had that are kind of, some of them are controversial, some of them are landmark albums. They're albums that people may have missed out on or just haven't discovered. And the very first one that we did was Motley Crue, 1994. And I was so excited when we recorded it and so excited when we released it. And as we've said before, some of us, me, you, in the first hour those things are released, we sit there and look at how the views are going. And this one blew up. But what was pretty freaking cool was within the first hour, one person in particular commented on that video, didn't they, Anthony? Oh. John Karabi commented.
That's right.
And said, "Thanks, gents."
When you see something like that, like John Karabi, I mean, is massive. I've seen Jerry Dixon from Warrant responded when I did an Ultraphobic unboxing. So when you know that you're reaching out to the rock stars or reaching the rock stars that you grew up idolizing, I mean, so yeah, that was wild. I was like, holy shit, Karabi watched this. Amazing. So
it's totally rad. So that was John Karabi said that. Then Shout Band responded, "The only problem I have with that album is the band name. They should have never called it Motley Crue. Great production and a few great songs, but nothing really stands out as being specifically good. If I had to pick one track that I like the most, it's Hooligan's Holiday." How do you feel, Anthony, about the fact that there's a very good, large section of the fans of that album that like it, but think it probably should have been called something different?
A band is never going to do that. And you hear that all the time. They change some band members, and I'm talking numerous bands, like change some band members. A lot of time it's if you get a new singer and they're like, well, they changed the sound or they changed the band, call it something different. If you call it something different, then you're starting back at the bottom. It's the band name is the draw. And if you call it fucking, Toxic Vomit or some other band name, you are just not going to get the amount of people interested in it versus if you call it Motley Crue. I get what people are saying, but you need to understand the business. So the 94 album sells 500,000 copies. Big disappointment compared to Dr. Feelgood. If you
Mhm.
call it another band name, it probably limps along to 100,000 copies,
Right.
75,000 maybe. It doesn't sell shit. The band name is what draws a lot of people in. Bands are very rarely ever going to call it something different.
And that album is now looked at so differently than it was in 1994. And people that didn't like it in 94 now love it. It took me a while, but that's my favorite Motley Crue record, and it always will be. And yeah, so that was a pretty awesome video, and it performed really well
So
too.
like 7,500 views, which, for our channel being fairly new still in 2 years, I mean, that's really good. Thanks. I
For a
appreciate
panel
everybody.
video, yeah, for a panel video, that's fantastic. So
Yep.
another awesome thing that happened is we continued on with the interviews that we get, and the quality of the interviews just continues to get better and better and better. But you landed the landmark that so many of us just about fell out of our chairs when our good friend Stevie Rachelle finally came on the channel and gave you 4 hours, which, as the thumbnail says, 4 hours is not enough.
Yeah. It wasn't. It wasn't. There was
No.
a lot I still had. I was like, fuck, I didn't ask that. I didn't ask that. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, fans will be happy to know there will be more in the future with Stevie. And Brian Schuster 9277 said, if you haven't ordered from Stevie before, you really should. I grabbed the combo pack of what goes around LP and CD, and I'm seriously impressed. I ordered it on Saturday, and it showed up on my house on Monday. Crazy fast shipping. I gotta say that when you recorded that, I went on because I wanted to, not because I felt a need to or a responsibility to. I went on and I bought a Metal Sludge shirt because I've never bought a Metal Sludge shirt before. Not only did I get a Metal Sludge shirt from Stevie, and keep in mind, people, the relationship there is Anthony and Stevie, not me. I didn't book that. That was you and Anthony, or Stevie. So I don't think Stevie knew who I was. Stevie put in a Tough shirt and his two CDs that I did not order, autographed them all, and put "Thanks, Patrick" on the receipt.
Yeah.
I was floored when that came. I took a picture of it. I put it on X. I said thank you to him. Who does that?
Yeah. He always, I mean, seems to always put in something extra. I went and ordered some stuff because there was a vinyl I didn't have. I got a tough tumbler and I ordered some other things. Always throws in extra stuff. And it's, he's known for doing that. And I was so glad with the amount of people who, after that interview, like in the comments or responses, like on Facebook, are like, hey, I went and ordered the 10 Tough CD collection, or ordered this and ordered that, because again, the more the more you support the bands, people like Stevie, I hate to say it, people like us, the more you support us, the more we can do content and do stuff. So anyway, Stevie's awesome, and you should go to metalsludge.tv and check out, because you always get it fast, it's always autographed, and he generally throws in something extra for you.
Support the bands you love. It's so true. Waluigi's Filthy Mushroom 4291, who is a longtime viewer. That guy hits me up on X sometimes. He's such a good dude.
Yep.
Says, I've been looking forward to this interview for a long time, and it didn't disappoint. Anthony, you did an excellent job putting this together. Stevie, thank you for your candor and for sharing your incredible story.
Yeah,
Babylon Camel Trader also said, oh, sorry, this ties in with that.
Yep.
Just when I think this channel is as good as it can be, it gets even better. Love this interview, love Stevie, and love Anthony. Well done, Guru, and thanks, Stevie, for sharing so much of your story.
I don't want to sound like, but I kind of feel like Stevie's become a buddy. I mean, we call each other every now and then. We text, we talk music and stuff. So I root for him. I want people to know his story. I think it's unbelievable. I mean, when you think of the things he did, he moved from Wisconsin because he saw a flyer of Tough and he's like, I'm gonna go join that band.
Right.
Moves to LA, meets Tough, gets in the band in a month, gets a major label record deal. Um, when that kind of falls apart, he's like, you know what? I'm going to do this Cheeseheads with Attitude. It blows up like this tribute to the Packers. He made like 250 grand one year because he was doing that. When that kind of slows down a little bit, he's like, I need something to promote my music. He starts Metal Sludge. I mean, the dude is a renaissance man, and I think he's kind of an inspiration with his work ethic and is like, I'm not going to let anything, hold me back or stop me. So I really kind of look up to him, and so I'm so thankful he's supported this channel. And instead of being like, oh shit, there's somebody else who's, doing music news. Well, that's my lane. He's like, no, he's like, fucking everybody go watch the hair metal guru. He's not that way at all. He's like, hey, support this music. It's awesome. So,
Yeah.
Not everybody would be that way. So, yes, go support Stevie. That was an amazing interview. I hate to pick favorites, but it would be hard not to say that is in my top couple and maybe my favorite interview over the course of the channel.
It's awesome. Stevie, we love you, man. You are amazing. The next album that we also talked about in the last month that did very well was Adrenalize, Def Leppard's 1992 release. And Yorkshire Bloke 1972 said about that video, as much as I love Def Leppard, I've always thought that this album wasn't up to their usual standards. But then again, Steve Clark passed away during the recording, so I can imagine they were trying to cope with his untimely death. Slang was a much better album, in my opinion. And that's why I agree with the Yorkshire Bloke 1972, because Slang is the best Def Leppard record ever.
We do need to do Slang.
Oh yeah, we do.
And there, I think it'll be a good video because there will be some people like you that love it. There are going to be some people that shit on it. I think that'll be Ryan. I honestly don't know where I fit, because after you were like, oh, it's my favorite Def Leppard album, I'm like, I gotta revisit it because I probably listened to it a couple times, put it away, and I was like, you know what? It's not what I remember. I remember thinking it was some big alternative rock record.
Mm.
I'm like, it's not. So my jury is still out. But I do agree with what he said about Adrenalize. Like,
Oh yeah.
it just aged poorly. But
Yes.
I think a lot of people are going to be interested in hearing us talk about Slang.
Dan MI800 said, "Let's get rocked. Both the song and the video are cornier than Oprah's stool after a 4th of July picnic. But it is a fun, catchy tune." You know,
I mean,
I was going to say,
go ahead.
when you look back at Let's Get Rocked, I remember the first time I saw it, and I said it in the video, was the Freddie Mercury concert. And I just was floored. But I think I was just so excited that Def Leppard was on TV. And looking back on it, when you see them live and it's all quiet all of a sudden and you hear Joe Elliott say, "Do you want to get rocked?" I mean, it's hard not to get all fucking goosebumpy. But when it comes on in the car, the first thing I do is hit the next button. So
like I kind of mentioned this before, when it started getting into 93, 94, 95. Yeah, it was hard not to be impacted by that and go, yeah, some of those lyrics were dumb in the 80s, even though we were loving them in the 80s. But
Mhm.
like what I think as like now that I'm older, I'm 53, every now and then I'll hear, "Do you want to get rocked?" And I'm like, that takes me back to a better time. I do remember the first time I heard that and going, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to get rocked, Joe. Rock me,
Please rock me.
But like you, I'll be like, yeah, okay, that brings me back. Skip.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm done being back. I'm ready to come back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Metal Man 73 or 773,100 said, intriguing episode. I swore off Def Leppard in 92 after buying Adrenalize immediately after its release. Something tells me that perhaps a reevaluation is due. Because of Patrick, I even ordered the Slang CD. And after watching the episode, it's a good recommendation from Colonel Patrick. Thanks. People want slang.
That sounds stupid. No, I'm just kidding. I
That sounds made up.
what really like the fans of this channel or what blow me away because I'll be like, we'll do a video and people will message me going, all right, you just cost me a bunch of money because when you guys recommend something, I tend to go out and buy it. And I'm like, that's just so flattering. Because
Yeah,
I used to be the guy who was reading Metal Edge, and when a band was like a band that I loved was saying, "Oh yeah, I've been listening to the new whatever record." I'm like, I got to go get that because I love this band and I want to listen to what. So anyway, I know it's different, but when people tell us that they're impacted by the shit we say, like that just blows me away.
the fact that I could say I really like this record and people say I'm going to go buy it because of that, it blows my mind because I'm just some dumbass on TV or not TV, but YouTube saying that.
It tickles your taint, doesn't it?
It just gets right in there and goes. "No, no, 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 no." On a much more somber note, last month, as you put on a video, you lost your dad. And I've lost both my parents, and it's a very difficult thing. So obviously, from everybody on the show, condolences to you.
Thank you.
And some of these amazing viewers that we have, and I truly have nothing but respect for the viewers of this channel because they blew up the comment section of that video. And CA7 Vin Bach said, that was an honest and heartfelt, genuine and strong, a very wholehearted and fitting tribute. God bless you and yours.
Yeah,
I thought that was wonderful.
Yeah, there was a lot that came out of that, and I was so hesitant. I'm like, are you gonna put this out there? It's a music channel, but I just was like, you know what, you got to, and if you don't, you're gonna regret it. And so the amount of people that reached out after that, and again, that's where I'm like, fuck, I'm never gonna be able to respond to everybody, but just know that I really appreciate it.
The last one on that topic is Beowulf 90 Rocks, who always leaves really good comments, said, great piece, Anthony. I watched the whole thing, and it's people like your dad who should be recognized. Who knows what would have happened to you if he doesn't set the example he did for the rest of his life and his family. What an awesome story in life. Thanks for sharing, and I wish I could give you a hug.
Beowulf is I did a video about his band playing
Yeah.
here. He's a good buddy of mine. We used to go to Warrant shows back in the days. So yeah, I'm gonna try not to get emotional here, but that meant a lot. Again, it was so many people, even like shit, people were messaging me privately on Facebook and stuff and just saying, "Hey man, I'm so sorry to hear that." And you're like, like it's easy to get pretty jaded like on social media and the amount of negativity you see. And then to have all of this outpouring of love and like support, you're like, son of a bitch, I'm a pretty lucky fucker, to be honest.
Absolutely. On to something more lighthearted. A couple of guys hijacked your channel on Halloween. Guys like Big Dick Dickerson, Dick Von Throbbing, Tommy, Vinny, Ricky, something, Rocket, and Stonewall Jackson. I don't know who those guys were, but they were fucking hilarious.
And they were good looking.
They were some chicks were going crazy.
I was like, those guys are some sexy bitches. I don't know where they got it from. It must have
What
been.
did Bill Gazzari say? Some foxy guys.
Those are some foxy guys. Gonna be bigger than David Lee Roth. That was a blast.
That was great.
So I'll just say this. And not that I'm disappointed, but like we've done some music or some movie episodes, and they get to 1,000 views, which is fine. But those, even if they don't do massive numbers, which they don't, those are a blast to do. I really encourage you to go check out that Halloween episode. That was so funny. We all wore wigs and had alternative stage names. I was Dick Von Throbbing. Patrick was Big Dick Dickerson. It was a
The
blast.
J629, the legendary
Yes.
J629 says,
Yes.
now that episode was fucking hilarious. Great list, guys, except maybe Jeremy's.
Because Jeremy had two cartoon movies.
Yes. And this next comment is priceless too. Marty Paul or Pathworth. Marty Pathworth says, not sure if you planned it this way or not, Anthony. But as soon as Stonewall Jackson said Monster House and you replied, what the fuck? It went straight to commercial. It cracked me up. It was
I do you whatever the paid YouTube so you don't get commercials. That's hilarious. J629, I just want to go back to him. That guy has been nothing short of amazing, the most supportive. We chat on X all the time. What an awesome dude. Everybody is, but I just wanted to shout out J629.
Jay's been there since the beginning.
Since
So,
the beginning.
yeah. All right. And now we've gotten to kind of a point in the show where we have to address some of the recent drama, which is, it may have been talked to death a little bit, but we got to address what people say on this channel.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here today.
Yep.
Bret Michaels band guitarist Pete Evick came on for an interview that I don't think any of us thought was going to turn into what it became.
No.
This got picked up by Alternative Nation. It got picked up by other music channels. It got picked up by Stefan Adika. It got picked up by the Classic Metal Show. A lot of people were talking about it to the point where it got on Blabbermouth. It blew up to Ricky Rocket coming on the show.
Yep.
I don't think we need to go into what Pete Evick said because I think if you're watching this video, you already know.
Yeah.
But Coach Worth Jr. said, I love that Bret is out all the time playing and touring, and he certainly carries the torch for good time rock and roll in that era of music, along with Crue and Def Leppard. But the Bret Michaels band is not even remotely close to a Poison show in terms of quality, musicianship, or crowd energy. It's a covers band with an original singer, and dang good time for sure. I love a lot of Bret's solo stuff and wish he would play more of that on tour than Poison.
He's not going to do that because that's not what people want to see. And if they can't see Poison, and I went and saw Bret this year. Thank you to Pete Evick for hooking me up and Stevie Rachelle for hooking me up with Pete Evick. I enjoyed it. But, when you grew up with Poison, that's what you want. But if you don't have the option to see Poison, you're going to go see Bret Michaels. And so as long as people go see Bret Michaels and he's doing really well, he's, and I said on Hair Metal Mansion, I'm sure that Poison tour is not going to happen, and I don't know that we haven't seen the last of Poison. So Bret's, even if he makes a little bit less money, which I don't know if he does, if he makes less money as the Bret Michaels band versus Poison, yet he's in complete control. He gets to make all the decisions. He doesn't have to run shit by anybody. He can just do it the way he wants. And I don't know if we're going to get into but Ricky Rocket in the interview said that can be intoxicating.
Mm-hmm.
You can see where people are like, it's all about me, and not want to go to where now I got to run shit by people. So I think that's why you see more of the Bret Michaels band, where you used to see a lot of Poison. Now you very rarely see Poison. And since it's selling, the Bret Michaels band, he might be thinking, why do I need to go back to Poison?
Right. Stephen Michaels Guitar says, does anyone really care about the guitarist in an artist's side project? Not to be a dick, because I respect him getting out there and working, but Batman and Robin? Really?
Did he say that? Did Pete say that?
No, Stephen Michaels Guitar.
No, but who said they were Batman and Robin?
Yes, Pete did say that.
Okay, shit, I didn't remember that. I I get it. Like, again, when you grew up loving Poison, it's easy to just look at the side project. In defense of Pete Evick, when you played with Brett for 21 years,
Mhm.
you're not just some side dude. Not only is he the guitar player, he's like the tour manager and does all this other stuff. So I get where people are saying, look, he's not going to be CC DeVille. I
No.
get that. I get where when you've been Brett's sideman for 21 years, you're like, hey, I've earned the right to express some things, and hey, I play a role in this too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like I said at the top of that, I don't think anybody predicted that to happen with that. But you wound up with Ricky Rocket coming on the channel to give his side of it. I thought that was fantastic and a classy thing that he did, and that he didn't knock Pete. He just came
Oh,
on and said, "Look, if somebody's gonna say something like that, then I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say." And I don't think we've heard the last of it, but I think that one of the more interesting things, and I hope we can talk about this for a second, is we had a conversation over the weekend talking about what we thought this might result in. And the one thing I said I'd be shocked if it doesn't happen still hasn't happened, which is Bret Michaels has been silent.
yeah. Um, I Not only has he been silent, but he canceled his show on Friday night.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've heard, but I don't know what the reason is. I have it's hard to think that all of the controversy and all of the news did not play a role in that. And and I've talked to Pete. I I said probably the one thing that would help smooth all this over is Brett coming out and saying, because there are still a lot of people who are like, no, the Poison Tour is going to happen. I mean, Brett had implied at some point that he saw it happening. Ricky said the offer was made. The other three guys are on board. They want to do it. Ricky has his reasons why he thinks Brett was wanting a massive part of the offer to make it happen. Ricky says that's a non like they need to make a little bit.
And
So
they can't go under. Yeah. The
yeah, they
tour
can, they
team.
can't go under, they can't be losing. So Brett should come out and make a statement. He should either come out and say, "Look, it's not happening." Okay? I have my own life. It's not my responsibility. Or like I owe it to my solo band, whatever he wants to say. He should just come out and say so people can stop thinking about it. And it can, obviously whatever if he when or if he does come out and say something, it'll blow up in the news, but at least people will know. Okay, don't plan on a Poison tour.
Right.
Then at least the other guys in Poison will know. Cuz Ricky doesn't know,
Right.
like the other guys, okay, I better make other plans if I want to do something musically. Ricky can go, okay, I got to try to find more for the Rocket Mafia to do. Maybe none of them, maybe none of them need to do it. Maybe they're not desperate to do it. Maybe they just want to do it. But Brett needs to come out and say something. He really does. And I'm going to add this. Um, there's been a lot of shit that's blown my mind over the course of this channel. Stuff that I never saw happening. But I don't know if my mind was ever as blown as much as it was last Thursday when I got done working out and opened up my Facebook and there was a message from Ricky Rocket saying, "Hey, do you want me to come on and straighten this up?"
I think you called me like a minute and a half later and were like, dude.
I was like, "Holy shit!"
What
So
do we do?
I was like, "Yeah, when would you like to do that?" And then I'll just before I got to talk to him, he had put out another interview with a different channel who asked him about this, and Ricky Rocket said, "Well, I kind of promised the hair metal guru that I would tell him about this, so I feel like I better honor that. And then when he got on the channel, he was like,
So listen, the reason I wanted to come on with you is
"Yep,
because number one, I think you're a nice guy,
thank you."
and I think you have integrity. So I don't think you were out to do anything
No,
wrong. Absolutely.
no.
This this got way out of control. Like it
It
was like,
it
wow, like
it did.
really?
The reason I wanted to come on is I think you're a nice guy and I think you have integrity. Mind fucking blown.
Yeah,
So thank you to Ricky Rocket and I thank you to Pete Evick, for both of them for coming on and feeling comfortable enough to share things that, it kind of ended up blowing up in the news, but feeling like this was where they wanted to share that. So to both of them, it was amazing. But yes, as a fan of both Pete Evick and Ricky Rocket, I'll just state again what my dream would be is that Poison would tour every summer. And then in the rest of the year, Brett can go out and do his. You can have it all. You can have the best of both worlds, right?
absolutely, absolutely. And I want both both of them deserve to be happy, and there is room in this world for both bands.
Yes.
And like you said, one's tour this amount of the year, and this one can do that. And there's a lot more to this than we will ever understand. These guys go all the way back to the '70s as being friends, and somewhere along the line, some things have happened. Business decisions always get in the way of friendships, and at some point, I'm sure the business side of it meant more to one party than the other, and things have gotten a little dicey. But God, as life has taught us so many times, it's not worth it. And what is worth it is good times and friends, and that's what makes the world go around. And God, there is room for both of those bands.
I'll just throw this out there. Uh, Being in a band is it's like being in a family. You
Yeah,
grow up with those people, you live with those people, and without getting too specific, I have seen money and stuff like that tear apart real families. It has happened in my family. When money gets involved, there are family members in my family who are completely estranged, who will probably never speak to each other again. So if it can happen, and I'm sure you and probably anybody watching this channel knows of shit like that. If it can happen with blood, it can certainly happen with a band, and that's what's happening. And it's a story as old as time itself. Money changes everything, like Cyndi
very
Lauper said.
We will end on a video that we put out that I had so much fun, and I know you did, and Ryan did as well. Shout out to VK, who's on so much, and one of the best parts of my week is getting to see VK. So we talked about the infamous decline of Western civilization, and we've even had a conversation with some folks that were in that movie, and we're hoping to have them on the channel at some time soon. And Rockstar Friend 2049 says, in 1987, the 16-year-old me was very impressed by all the people in this movie. Then in 2001, 30-year-old me found myself playing lead guitar and keyboards with Lizzie Gray in Spiders and Snakes. Lizzie was a very underrated songwriter, playing 30 plus of his songs over our 3 years together. Taught me so much. One of a kind. Rest in peace, Lizzie Gray.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get to something, but I interviewed Jeff Duncan from Odin last night, and a lot of those bands, especially London, got portrayed pretty negatively in that documentary.
Mhm.
But imagine if you and I were 20 or 22 and partying our asses off, and somebody brought out a video camera and recorded us. Would we look like fucking geniuses?
No.
Like would we now at our age be like, "Oh my fucking gosh. Can you?" That's what Jeff was like. He's like, "That's how we were. We were young and partying our asses off." taking some drugs, rocking and rolling. Like that's, imagine you having yourself recorded
I
doing
do.
the same shit. You probably would not, look like, oh, prim and proper and well educated and all that shit. So anyway, yeah.
No. All Things Music 1313 said, I saw Jeff Duncan from Odin last year playing with Armored Saint. Jeff Duncan's going to be awesome on the show. He's a super nice guy.
Totally. So nice. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, pretty excited for that. I love some Armored Saint. So.
And while we mention that, I'd love to get Randy O. I think I can get Sean Duncan, Jeff's brother. He actually added me on Facebook, so maybe I shouldn't say that, but I might reach out to him. But we want people from London. We want fucking Lizzie Borden. We would love to have people that were on that movie to talk about their career and that movie.
Absolutely. And the last comment is from Ernie Styson 7979, who says the movie was very misleading by presenting Odin as a band on the verge of making it. The truth is that by the time the movie was made, Odin was pretty much broken up. They were one of the original big bands on the strip. After years of being passed by, they were ready to break up when this movie was made.
When Jeff Duncan attended the premiere of The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years, he was a member of Armored Saint. So that is absolutely true. When they were filming that documentary, they were already kind of like, he said, we watch Poison come in, pass us by. We watch Warrant come in, pass us by. We were like getting to where it's not going to happen. So they were starting to look for other avenues as they were recording that. And by the time it came out, they were basically broken up. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about, because that concludes the viewer comments portion, but one thing that we did talk about in that video, my number one was actually from a bonus scene that was in that movie, and I don't think you knew about it until I showed it to you, was the footage of a pre-signed Jani Lane, who is he'd been partying that night, but he's outside of a club. And Penelope goes up to him and asks who he is and what he's up to. And we talked a couple days later about it, and we both kind of talked about how it was a difficult thing to watch. You want to talk a little bit about that? How did that hit you?
I will, because I don't think there will be any problem. I'm going to put that clip in here. I don't think there will be any strikes on it. It made me kind of emotional.
We're in negotiation right now. We haven't decided which level to go with. Waiting for the new budgets for 80.
What are you doing here tonight?
I'm smoking. I'm getting drunk. I'm going to go to Bill Gazzari's because he's my favorite guy on the strip. And I'm going to hang out at my party. We have a party at our drummer's house. Come on, this is been a lot of fun. By the way, I'm Jani, just in case you're curious.
Yeah.
Thinking about it makes me kind of emotional. It's a young Jani Lane. Warrant is probably has a name on the strip, but they're probably still at least months, maybe months away from getting signed. He's smiling. He's happy. He's
so happy.
Like these girls are behind him, and he kind of jokes like, "Yeah, these girls are with me because I'm in Warrant," and he's like, "No, actually they're just with me because I'm a really nice guy." He's funny. He's engaging. And as he walks away, he goes, "By the way, my name is Jani," and I can almost get emotional. It's like, yeah. He's got to be mid-20s because he's probably 24, 25 or around then. He'd been playing for a long time, right. And you think in 2 years from when that was recorded, he's going to be blowing up into a platinum star. I just watched a I just discovered a YouTube video of Warrant in 1995 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I get pulled up on stage at like 22 minutes.
The guy's got a fucking Stronger Now tattoo across his fucking arm. Look at him, put the fucking spotlight. That's a man who is committed. That's a man who... You have no fucking idea, folks, what that does to you. You write a fucking song, next thing you know, you see it on somebody's fucking arm. That means the fucking world to me, brother. Thank you very much. I'll tell you what, why don't you step up on the side of the stage? We're gonna get you fucked up, okay?
And they've already been to the top of the mountain, and now they're back to playing clubs. But he's amazing in that show. That's 1995. He was only going to be alive for another 16 years. And anytime I get the chance to see old footage of Jani Lane before the times got rough, when he still had hope and this superstar career in front of him, I take advantage of it because I don't, for some reason, I've just never felt as connected to anybody from that scene as Jani Lane.
I think he had that magic aura about him that drew so many people like you and me in. I'm the same way. I got very emotional watching it because the first time I saw it about 2 years ago when I got that free DVD set. And he just looks like the world is going, you just realize that in the next year, the world is going to be in the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
And he is going to be huge. He's going to be on MTV. He's going to be playing to arenas. He's going to be on the Dr. Feelgood tour. He's going to be doing all of these amazing things. And in 9 years, it's all over for as far as playing, the heights of his career. But God bless him and rest in peace, Jani, because you are so loved by so many of us.
And as much as we talk about these bands, and sometimes we'll be like, "Oh yeah, shit, that album flopped, and what the fuck happened to that band?" Those bands were all of the members of all of those bands. That was their entire life's goal, their dream. So while we joke about it, when you think about it, like it's sad how what happened to so many of those bands. That movie, The Decline, so many of them were sure it was going to happen for them. For a few, it did. For most of them, it didn't. And I just want to point out that it's not like we think it's funny that some of these careers failed. We joke about life because that's what you do. If you can't joke about life, then you're in a pretty sad state of affairs. But I do like, when you look at Jani Lane and what happened to him, that breaks my heart. And you just want, you want the best for everybody. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out, the way we always want it to.
No, but what does work out is some amazing things that are coming up on this channel, Anthony. And, we have some interviews that have been completed that are going to be posting soon that I'd love to talk a little bit about and give a little bit of a temp to people.
Yep.
We got some members of Warrant that were in Warrant. We got the great. Now I haven't seen it yet. It's going to be completed tomorrow night. It's a 3-part interview. And how many hours are you at right now? 3?
I think we're at 3, and we're doing part 3 tomorrow night.
This could take the cake as being the longest interview in channel history, and a guy who has been a massive part of the era of Warrant that meant the most to me. I know it meant a lot to you. He sounds like he's been a killer interview so far. Please give us a little bit of a taste of what's to come in your interview with Rick Steyer.
Rick Steyer, who was in Kingdom Come at the beginning. After a couple of albums with Kingdom Come, he did a project called Wild Horses, and then he joins Warrant along with James Kotak, the drummer, who would end up later doing years in Scorpions. This interview is fucking amazing because you're going to get some of the details about what happened with Kingdom Come, why he and James left. I'm been enthralled hearing about his time with Jani Lane. You're going to hear about the Jabberwocky project, the songwriting, maybe some details about that you didn't know. You're going to hear some of the dark side of being in a band with Jani Lane, some of the sad times. And the part that there's a lot about the Jani Lane years that blew me away, but the part where he really got me was when was talking about James Kotak, the drummer who from that he was basically attached with his almost his entire career. James Kotak died of alcoholism, and to hear about their friendship and what happened with him is going to blow you away. So
Yeah,
there's so
nobody's told
much to
that
this
story yet.
interview.
Nobody's told that story yet. So this is going to be pretty groundbreaking. And I think, you know what else is super cool about that guy is he's giving back now. He's teaching, he does guitar lessons,
Yep.
he's teaching, he's producing new bands.
Yep.
And that's what the third part that you'll be recording on
Yep.
Wednesdays about. And man, oh man, I think I speak for all the viewers of the channel. That is really exciting. This is going to be such a good one.
If you're a Warrant fan and a Kingdom Come fan, I think you're going to get stuff that you've never heard before.
Yeah, pretty cool. Then what people don't understand is when I book these interviews and I work on trying to draw people, I probably send 40 or 50 responses out before I get 2 or 3 bites back.
Yeah.
And one of the most exciting days in recent months for me was when I was sitting at home and I got a phone call from a number in Ohio. I had no idea who it was. I picked up the phone. It was Billy Morris, a former guitar player for Warrant, who was on the Covers record,
Yep.
Under the Influence, sang Down Payment Blues on that record, grew up a part of the Ohio music scene with Jani, Dave Brooks from Slam and Gladys, the channel's own Sean Zavodny, who's a badass keyboard player and a great vocalist too. That guy can sing. But I answer the phone and it's Billy Morris, and I talk to him for an hour, and I'm texting you while I'm on the phone. Guess who I'm on the phone with? That guy is so cool. He sent me like 4 or 5 unreleased songs to chew on. Tell us a little bit about how your interview with Billy Morris is going.
Most of the people that you talk with are nice. I mean, this guy, he's just a upper Midwest, hard-working guy, fucking so nice. So, and he was so close with Jani Lane, so he joins Warrant in 99, and you're going to get, again, a lot of information about Jani Lane, what it was like being with him in those years. When Jani decided that he was out of Warrant, Billy Morris was like, they wanted him to stay, but Billy was like, no, I'm leaving. I'm going with Jani. Left the band, and now he's actually playing in Tough, and
Yeah.
they'll be playing the Monsters of Rock cruise. Patrick and I are talking about going to the Monsters of Rock cruise, but just at the end, he's like, dude, you should come to Cleveland. He runs this smoking rock and roll food truck. He's like, we're going to be playing some Tough shows, so you're going to get, again, and I think fans of this channel seem to be, anytime they can get Warrant information or Jani Lane information, that seems to strike a chord with everybody. You're going to want to see this, because a lot about the friendship of Jani Lane, and again, about some of the good times and some of the dark times.
Yeah. We never stop trying to deliver incredible content, and we never give up on trying to get great guests on the channel. And coming up this Friday, we're actually going to be doing our very first panel. I don't want to say who, but we're going to be doing a panel with an actual rock star, which is pretty cool. And this channel just gets better and better. It's evident in the comments in the videos, Anthony. This channel means a lot to so many people, and it means a lot to me, and I know it means the world to you. So my pledge is just to keep delivering the same stuff that we keep doing.
I'm going to throw in one more on the interview, one that I think is going to be pretty big. Rod Morgenstein from Winger. And we went through his whole career, but I'm just telling you, to hear him talk about the Pull album and the Beavis and Butthead stuff and how that impacted the band, I was just enthralled. You are not going to want to miss the Rod Morgenstein from Winger interview. And
Yes.
and now Patrick, I mean, I can't even. How the fuck did I get so lucky? And I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass, but that you used to just respond to videos, and one day we start chatting, and I don't do all the. There's no way I do all this shit without you doing all these contacting and stuff. So I hope people know that you are just as much of part of the channel as I am, and thank you so much for all the work
Dude,
you do behind the scenes, because
my honor.
I can't. I'm so thankful for it.
My honor. It's the one thing in my life that I just look so forward to every day is what's gonna be in the inbox. What are we working on? What primer can I put together and send to you? Well,
Yeah.
what do you want to do on Wednesday night? What album? Who do you want? Blah 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 blah. And we make it happen. And people, Anthony said it earlier in the video, and not to get emotional or anything, but it's the same thing that Stevie Rachelle did. You can do anything you want. Look where this channel is 2 years from when it started.
Yeah.
Look where it's going, people.
Yeah.
And it's the best thing going out there right now is this channel. It grows by over 1,000 subscribers every single month. We're taking this thing to the top. We're gonna eventually get somebody from fucking Warrant on this channel. Help me God.
One of
That's
the
what my
original
goal-
guys, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's been one of my goals since I started contributing to this channel. So, but damn it, working with you, brother, it's amazing, and I wouldn't change it for anybody. I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else.
Absolutely. Hey, and for all the fans, thank you so much. There's so much cool stuff coming up. Thanks for all your support, and I hate to even ask people to do anything more than like and subscribe and what the hell, ring the bell. But if you know of another way you can help support the channel, by all means, we welcome it. But just thank you for all of you that take the time to even watch a little bit of this. Patrick, thanks for putting all this together, all the comments from the viewers. Really appreciate you taking the time to do that.
Dude, anytime. And thank you to VK, to drummer Boy Jones, my boy Jeremy, to everybody who's got a channel out there. I mean, fuck, all of the people, Rockin' Danger, Hairband Basement, all the guys from the beginning. This has been such a blast. It's only gonna get better. Fuck yeah.
All right. Hey, go in the comments. Let us know, what you think about maybe some of the comments, about some of the videos that we've done. What are some of the things that you would like to see us do in the future? Like, subscribe, what the hell, ring the bell. And hey, whatever you can do to support the channel, we really do appreciate you being here. Until the next video comes out, my name is Anthony. They call me the Guru. Take care of yourselves.